Hey, what's up guys? I'm Rick at Techspin, and holy shit, I just finished watching Fast and Furious 8 in 4DX. So let's get to it. Wait, get that shit out of here. I want to get straight into it. And this is a no spoiler review, although I do need to mention a couple of minor plot points in order to do a good job. So, Fast 8 picks up in Cuba, and Dom steps in to help out a poor guy about to lose his crappy car. The opening race scene gets into the action right away and doesn't let up. What a great sequence, and they certainly started using their budget immediately. Crashes, motorcycles flying and explosions, and we're just a couple of minutes in, just hitting the opening title. Well, I'm a big fan of the whole series, with some movies being a bit stronger than others, but luckily there's no runaway sequence like in Fast 6. Or is there? Right out the gate, let's just say you definitely need a little suspension of disbelief, as every movie in the franchise. But it's so well done here that even after your brain thinks, what? They slam into another scene so great and action-packed, you just go along with it. This is pure entertainment, and I'll call it and say it's the summer blockbuster you're waiting for, because damn, it is that good. Now, we get introduced to the returning characters, including a nice nod to Paul Walker's character Brian, who of course died in real life, ironically, in a car accident, but whose character rode off into the sunset in Fast 7. It was a nice touch, and really appreciated by this fan. Vin Diesel is back in fine form, age not catching up with him much, well, maybe a little around the jowls, but still keeping in great shape. Mental note, I need to hire his trainer. I like the way writer Chris Morgan knows his characters by heart, and he wrote something different for Dom this time around, which the entire movie is built on. Posters already out for Fast 8 say, "Family no more," and this is a smart choice and a refreshing new direction for the saga. Going down the list, oh, I gotta say that The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, brings it this time. They could almost call this Furious Hobbs 8, and it would totally be fine with me. There's one part where all hell breaks loose and Hobbs just tears the place apart, men flying and bones breaking. He adds so much to the movie, and it's just fantastic to watch Hobbs with his street-style fighting, taking down punks left and right. Speaking of punks, Jason Statham makes a return as Deckard, and remember how physical he was in the Transporter movie fight scenes? That gets kicked up like 3 notches here, and he's able to bring some serious, brutal fighting to amp up several parts of the movie. He's running his mouth again, and him and Hobbs get into some pretty funny dialogue. His action scenes are super kick-ass and tie into his mysterious, badass persona. A welcome addition here. Michelle Rodriguez returns as Letty, of course, and she's great here too. I've been a big fan of her since Avatar. She was tough then, and she's tough now. She's part of every major scene and is Dom's character foil, which is actually very important, as sometimes Dom doesn't say very much. I was going to say there isn't much character development for her, but truly her purpose in the series is to keep Dom in check and help him when he needs it most. Her acting is spot on and true to her character's motivations. Finally, we get to see some cool stuff for Tyrese Gibson's character Roman, who is usually the butt of jokes / comedic relief. But they actually develop his character a bit and don't just laugh him off. He still has good one-liners and laughs this time at the situation, not just at him. I really liked how Roman jumped into the fight and is more involved this time around, and his choice of cars is always funny. Roman never gets to keep his cars, does he? He sure tries hard though. Ludacris, aka Chris Bridges, is still with the team as Tej, and seems like he retired from the car wash, car shop, pimp life here, and has turned hacker. I mean, guys gotta have a skill set apart from babes and engines, right? The smart man of reason is here. Not many jokes, but a solid acting performance, and there's a few key points where it couldn't be anyone else but him. Welcome back. Mr. Nobody, aka Kurt Russell, returns. His name's right up front, so not really a spoiler. Did you like his return to action movies in Fast 7? He swoops in a few spots in the movie, a little deus ex machina, but does kick a little butt here and creates a base for the team, giving them resources that they need on their hunt. His sidekick introduces Scott Eastwood, son of famous actor-director Clint Eastwood, and wow, that resemblance sure is strong. He puts in a great performance as a suit who can't relate to the team, but as they work together, he has smart, interesting dialogue and additions to the story. Nathalie Emmanuel returns as Ramsey from Fast 7 also, as she's the group's resident hacker who kind of gets pulled along for the ride. For me, she's part of the eye candy the main character's set. She's involved in the action, but the story focuses more on explosions, destruction, vehicle mayhem. This is what you came to see. Oh my god, wow. Yeah, so where do I start? The pacing of this movie is excellent. There's never a dull moment, going from stunts, fight sequences, gunfights, and of course crazy driving right into the character interplay and exposition, then slamming full throttle right back into the action. Felix Gary Gray is directing this time around, known for Straight Outta Compton, Law-Abiding Citizen, A Man Apart, also with Vin Diesel. Oh, and a little movie which is one of my all-time greats, The Negotiator, with Samuel L. Jackson and Kevin Spacey. Released in 1998, this gem shows stellar acting by Jackson and Spacey, and you can certainly see the direction he set here that he channeled and expanded on for House of Cards, for Kevin Spacey, I mean. It's brilliant, and you should watch it if you get a chance. Okay, so Mr. Gray captures every angle, chase, car flip, punch, kick, and you name it flawlessly. Doing video for a little while now, I can appreciate how hard it is to get shots looking perfect or even good. This guy is jaw-droppingly king of his game. Damn, son! The way it was shot feels inspired and on point for the saga, giving it an adrenaline shot forward. Terrific job, man. Don't forget to like this video, please subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified when the next video is ready. Executive producer Santiago Garcia Galvan and producers Michael Fottrell and Vin Diesel himself set the tone of this movie with fast chase scenes, bullets flying, fistfights, and some brutal beatdowns. And the destruction is breathtaking. The amount of cars, SUVs, and trucks just destroyed is mind-bending. They surely had to use CGI for most of that, or they'd have their own landfill of wrecks. And that's a good thing. The action is so quick I never thought about CGI much until now, as it's perfectly done and blended in so well here. Shit, the explosions are crazy. There are so many times during this epic action flick where you almost get a jump scare from cars and shit blowing the fuck up. Crazy, amazing, over the top, but so well done. I don't fucking care. Explosions. It's like they took a look at the Michael Bay handbook, gave it back, patted him on the head, and said, I'm gonna show you how to do this right. And they made it feel related and part of the action, integrated, and not just for the sake of it. Not to harp on Michael Bay too much, who brought to life my childhood dreams of more Transformer movies, and continues to do so with several more coming. But sir, the bar has been raised. Geesh, after watching Fast 8 and thinking what Transformers would be like, done like that, holy shit, that gives me goosebumps. Now, hopefully the part you're all here to see, the 40X experience. Hold on to that popcorn, because it's gonna fly in this one. Let me say my top 40X experience was with San Andreas, also featuring The Rock, and that has been easily equaled, if not surpassed by this flick. Where do I start? The car chases have you on edge, with hits and collisions throwing you side to side. This movie really got the car chases right, with the seat rumbling and jostling like mad, and makes you feel like you're right in the car or Humvee, a part of the action. Over jumps and hills, the chairs follow, and in two parts of the movie, the collisions went boom on the screen and my ass literally left the seat for a second, getting launched forward. Lots of air blasts by your ears for close flying bullets, but not overdone at all. The back puncher was there for fight scenes, not as much as Deadpool though, and actually added to the experience instead of being remembered as a point of that viewing. What else? Right, the strobes went just a bit at the beginning and maybe a few times through the movie. They were really blended in and didn't take me out of the movie's focus. Now, either the AC was on high or the fans were always running on low. The theater was a bit cold. They spun up during the airplane shots and on the Arctic plains. Only one or two smells. They still smell like earthquake to me since the first time I smelled them was in San Andreas. They were blended in well. Lastly, the water mist jets turn on a bunch at the end in the snow, and just like a good fireworks show. The extra effects near the end add to the epic on-screen ballet of missiles, flying cars, and explosions. Such great orchestration for the entirety of this film. Now, there are quiet spots too, and they never held any effect for long enough to feel annoying in my case. Last, I'm going to touch on the music, or should I say the subtlety of songs in this movie. Most Fast and Furious movies make huge club tracks for years, but apart from the Pitbull track at the start, there's not many songs for the sake of having songs, and a lot blended well into the overall scene. On the contrary, this movie goes for a powerful score and delivers, think Avengers level quality. Music was done by Brian Tyler, who also did the composing for Fast and Furious 3, 4, 5, and 7, also doing Battle of Los Angeles, and the terrific Thor the Dark World, and wait for it, Constantine. He certainly had a lot of work to do for this film, and the amount of effort and creativity he put in makes it such a polished experience. So, should you spend your hard-earned dollars seeing this manly, testosterone-filled crash, explosion, destruction, extravaganza with a good story and characters? I think you know the answer. The Fate of the Furious, Fate 8, I got it, okay. Scores a 10 on the meter, becoming the first movie I've reviewed to hit that mark. I call it like I see it, and if there are parts of the movie that detract or warrant point deduction, I'll be the first to point that out. But this action film is so well crafted, nothing stood out of my mind. It's an experience you shouldn't miss in the theater, and even more so if you have a 4DX cinema around. Furthermore, you need to see this film in 4DX. You owe it to yourself to find the nearest 4DX theater, as even though this movie is excellent on all its own merits, having that extra interaction with that viewer just puts it on another level entirely. They worked in the effects so well in this movie, I'm probably going to go see it again just for the thrill ride it provided. It was that well done. Plus, totally kick-ass movie. I'm not sure about the D-Box experience. I went to several films here in Taipei before the single 4DX theater was installed and opened. And for D-Box, it didn't really seem to add much. So, don't go to D-Box and say, well, Rick said 4DX was great, so what happened, bro? The setups are different. D-Box doesn't have the water, air, as far as I can remember, the strobes or fans. I went 4DX and never looked back. D-Box's seats don't pitch half as much, and at top speed they move half as fast, and they rumble about the same as a PlayStation controller, maybe 2. 4DX actually shakes and throws you around in your seat. And in D-Box, I never worried about my drink or popcorn once. In 4DX, I almost sloshed my drink many times and lost popcorn, almost losing the bag twice. One kind of awesome thing about the theaters here in Taipei is that you can drink inside. Bring some beers, sure. Only need a sippy cup if you're downing mixed drinks. So come visit sometime. Alright, you know what to do if this review ran out of power, or throw it into gear and hit that nitrous thumbs up button if you like this review. If you want to see more videos like this, then please do subscribe for new content and click that bell icon to get notified when I put up a new video. I read the comments, so if you have a question or if I miss something, then please do let me know down below. And tell me what you'd like to see next. Thank you very much for watching, and see you all again really soon. Bye for now.